Welcome to Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. I'm your host, Nate Tanner. On this show, we use the Triggator Triangle, budget, save, and pay off debt to help you build a spending plan that fits your life, grow your savings with purpose, and knock out debt with confidence. Today, we're heading back into the lab to put some of the biggest myths in personal finance to the test. If you've ever wondered whether buying in bulk always saves money, if generic is always better, or if you should always have a mortgage on your house, you're in the right place. We'll even tackle a bonus myth that investing is only for wealthy people. Just like the classic MythBusters, we'll break down each myth, test it against real-life scenarios using the Triggator Triangle, and reveal whether it's busted, plausible, or confirmed. But you'll have to wait until the end of each segment for the verdict. Along the way, I'll share stories, practical examples, and a few laughs to help you make smarter choices with everyday spending. Why do these myths stick around? Because they sound good, they're easy to repeat, and sometimes they're even backed by marketing hype. But when you dig deeper, you'll find that not everything that glitters is gold. And not every money-saving tip is worth following. So grab your safety goggles and your curiosity, because we're about to bust some myths, confirm a few truths, and help you build habits that support intentional, value-driven spending. Let's get into it. Myth 1, buying in bulk always saves money. Let's kick things off with a classic. Buying in bulk always saves money. This myth is everywhere. Warehouse clubs, online deals, and even well-meaning advice from friends. The idea is simple. Buy more, pay less per unit, and save big over time. It's popular because it feels smart, and who doesn't love a good deal? But does it really hold up? Why it's so popular? Bulk buying is marketed as a money-saving strategy. It appeals to your desire for abundance and security. And the per-unit price is often lower, making it seem like a no-brainer. Testing the myth, the Triggator Triangle budget side. Let's apply this to the budget side of the Triggator Triangle. A well-stocked pantry can help you avoid the ups and downs of grocery prices. Buying items in bulk when they're on sale can help you stock up and dodge price spikes. When prices go up, you can check your pantry stockpile and avoid paying more. But here's the catch. Buying in bulk only works when you're buying items you actually use at a good price and in quantities that make sense for your household. If food prices are high and you're out of stock, buying in bulk won't help. You're just paying more for more. Let me share a personal story. Years ago, I bought a 5,000 pack of drinking straws. Yes, you heard that right. 5,000 straws. It seemed like a great deal at the time. I imagined all the parties, smoothies, and summer days those straws would serve. Fast forward 23 years, and I still have about 4,000 left. The straws have survived moves, seasons, and even changes in my beverage preferences. What started as a smart buy turned into a lesson in overestimating needs. Bulk buying can lead to spending just because it seems like a good deal, not because you actually need the product. Some common pitfalls: overbuying, stockpiling items that you'll never use before they expire or go stale. Faux savings. The per unit price is lower, but the total spend is higher, and you may not use it at all. Impulse buying. Warehouse clubs and bulk deals can tempt you to buy things you never planned to purchase. Storage costs. Extra items take up space and can lead to clutter or waste. Reviewing the results. So, does buying in bulk always save money? Let's look at the evidence. When you buy items you use regularly at a good price and avoid waste, buying in bulk can help you save. But when you are buying just because it's a deal or stock up on things you rarely use, it can cost you more in the long run. Now, here's the kicker. This myth says always. Just like those tricky ACT true-false questions, if 98% is true but 2% is false, The correct answer is still false. Therefore, our result is busted. Buying in bulk can save money, but only when done intentionally and with a plan. The always part of this myth doesn't hold up. Myth number 2, buying generic is always better. Let's move on to another popular belief. Buying generic is always better. This myth is everywhere: grocery aisles, pharmacy shelves, and even in advice from frugal friends. The idea is that generic products offer the same quality as name brands, but at a lower price. It's popular because saving money feels good, and generic options are often marketed as smart choices for budget-conscious shoppers. Why is it so popular? Generic products are usually cheaper than name brands. Marketing and word of mouth reinforces the idea that you're getting the same thing for less. The savings are immediate and visible at checkout. Let's apply this to the budget side of the Triggator Triangle. Buying generic can absolutely save money, especially for staple items like salt, sugar, and basic pantry goods. The name brand salt and the store brand salt, they both taste salty. For many food items and household basics, generic is a great way to stretch your spending plan. But here's where things can maybe get a little tricky. Sometimes buying generic means sacrificing quality. When it comes to products like clothing, electronics, or tools, the cheapest option isn't always the best. If a generic product wears out quickly, breaks before expected, or doesn't perform as well, you could end up spending more in the long run. In my early adult life, I was all about buying the cheapest generic clothing that I could find. It seemed like a smart move. Save money up front, get more for less. But I quickly noticed something odd. I would think back on how growing up, my parents would buy me clothes once a year at school time, and those clothes would last the entire year. My generic clothes that I bought for myself, the seams ripped, they got holes, and the fabric worn out within a couple of months. When I started to do the math, I realized that buying higher quality brands was initially more expensive, but those clothes lasted far longer. Replacing the cheapest clothing every 2 months ended up costing far more than investing in something that would last. Now, I'm not talking about name brand spending. I'm talking about good quality clothing. That is the key. We're not looking at flashy name brands that are just high priced because of the brand name. Some common pitfalls: false saving. Saving money up front but spending more over time due to poor quality. Quality sacrifice. Generic products that don't perform as well or wear out quickly. Food versus non-food. Some generics are great for food, but not for items that need durability or performance. Reviewing the results. So, does buying generic always save money? Let's look at the evidence. For many food and household items, generic is a smart choice and can help you stick with your spending plan. For products where quality matters, like clothing, electronics, and tools, generic can end up costing more in the long run. Again, the myth says always. And just like those tricky test questions, if it's not true 100% of the time, then it's not true. The result is busted. Buying generic can be better, but not always. The key is to know when quality matters and make intentional choices. Myth number 3, you should always have a mortgage on your house. This myth has been around for decades. The logic behind it is usually tied to taxes. Maintaining a mortgage means that you can claim what is, for most people, their largest tax deduction: mortgage interest. Banks and financial institutions love to market this idea, and it's easy to see why. But is it really the best move for your financial health? Why it's so popular: mortgage interest is tax deductible, which sounds like free money. Banks and lenders promote the benefits of leveraging debt. Let's test this against the Triggator Triangle. Let's look at both the save and pay off debt sides. Let's break down the math. Suppose you're in the 12% tax bracket and your mortgage interest deduction is $10,000. Congratulations, you saved $1,200 on taxes. But here's the catch. You had to pay the bank $10,000 in interest to get that deduction. Flip the script. If you don't have a mortgage, you pay the $1,200 in taxes and keep $8,800 in your pocket. This is a classic marketing ploy. Banks want you to think that you save $1,200 on taxes by giving them $10,000. The reality is, keeping more of your money is almost always better than handing it over for the sake of a tax break. 50-year mortgages, the new hype. Recently, there's been a lot of talk online about 50-year mortgages. Let's take a quick sidetrack to break down the pros and cons so that you can wade through the hype and the mess. Let's start with a couple of pros. The basic idea is to get more people into homes by extending the mortgage to 50 years, lowering the monthly payment requirement. Also, extending the term of any loan lowers the payment, making high-priced homes more accessible. And lastly, in today's market, it could allow more people to buy homes they otherwise couldn't afford. But let's go into the cons, because sadly, there are a lot of these, and some even negate the pros. First off, interest. Adding 20 years to your mortgage will double the interest, if not more. Adding 20 years to your mortgage will double the interest, if not more, depending on rates. Amortized loans mean you pay the most interest in the front end of your term. In a 50-year loan, the first 18 to 20 years are mostly interest payments, not principal. Economics. Let's dust off high school economics. Price is determined by supply and demand. More people can afford homes with lower payments, increasing demand. Unless supply increases to match, prices will rise. What's affordable today may be out of reach tomorrow. Risk. Debt always carries risks. The longer you're in debt, the longer you're exposed. Imagine being 10 years into a 50-year mortgage and losing your job. Because of front-loaded interest, your equity is much less than it should be. If prices have gone up, you could be priced out of a comparable home even after finding a new job. Personal wealth. Debt is always in opposition to wealth. On your balance sheet, assets minus liabilities equals your net worth. The higher your debt, the lower your net worth. Even when debt is used to acquire income-producing assets, the goal is to remove that debt as quickly as possible so that you keep more of the income the asset produces. Reviewing the results. So, should you always have a mortgage on your house? Let's look at the evidence. The tax deduction is real, but there's not a reason to keep debt forever. The longer you stay in debt, the longer you're exposed to financial risk and the less equity that you build. And a quick last note on the 50-year mortgages, they may have lower payments, but they dramatically increase the total interest paid, risk, and can reduce your ability to build wealth. The result, busted. Everyone should want more money in their pocket, not more going to the bank. The best financial move is to pay off your mortgage as soon as possible, build equity, and reduce risk. Don't fall for the marketing hype. Focus on building wealth, not maintaining debt. Myth number 4, the bonus myth. Investing is only for wealthy people. Let's tackle a myth that keeps far too many people from building wealth. Investing is only for wealthy people. This belief is persistent, maybe because you've heard it from friends, family, or even financial experts on TV. The idea is that you need a big bank account, fancy credentials, or insider knowledge to invest. But is that really true? Why it's so popular? Investing is often portrayed as complicated, risky, and reserved for those with lots of money. Financial jargon and intimidating headlines can make it seem out of reach. Some people believe that you need thousands of dollars to get started, or that investing is only for people who have already quote-unquote made it. Testing the myth against the Triggator Triangle, the save side. Let's apply this to the save side of the Triggator Triangle. Here's the truth. No matter who you are, your dollar has the exact same potential as everyone else's. You can spend it, save it, or invest it. If you spend it, it's gone. You won't see that dollar ever again. If you save it, it helps you in the future, maybe covering an emergency, a non-monthly expense, or even something fun. But if you invest it, you're giving that dollar a job. It goes to work and brings back more. You don't need to be wealthy to invest. Today, there are countless platforms and tools that let you start with as little as $1. You can invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or even fractional shares. The key is to start, no matter how small. Think back to the last episode's garden metaphor. Every dollar is a seed. You can plant it for joy, for value, or for growth. Investing is planting for growth. Even a small investment, given time and consistency, can grow into something substantial. Some common pitfalls. Waiting for enough money. Many people put off investing, thinking they'll start when they have more. The reality is, starting small and early beats waiting for the perfect moment. Intimidation by jargon. Don't let complicated terms scare you off. Start simple and learn as you go. Believing you're not ready. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to be willing to learn and take the first step. Reviewing the results. So is investing only for wealthy people? Let's look at the evidence. Anyone can invest regardless of income or background. Starting small is not only possible, it's powerful. Time and consistency matter more than the starting amount. The myth keeps people from building wealth, but it is simply not true. The result is busted. Investing is for everyone, no matter your income, background, or experience. You can put your dollars to work and build a brighter financial future. You've made it to the end of Budget MythBusters. If you're still here, you're not just curious, you're committed to making smarter choices and challenging the status quo. And that's something worth celebrating. Today, we put some of the biggest myths in personal finance to the test. We learned that buying in bulk doesn't always save money, that generic isn't always better, and keeping a mortgage for tax reasons is a marketing ploy. And lastly, as a bonus, that investing truly is for everyone, not just the wealthy. The truth is, intentional, value-driven spending is what leads to real progress. Today's challenge is simple but powerful. Pick one myth from today's episode and test it in your own life this week. Maybe you'll audit your bulk purchases, compare generic and name brand items, review your mortgage strategy, or take the first step towards investing. The goal is to move from myth to mastery, one action at a time. Which myth surprised you the most? What's one change you're making to bust a financial myth in your own life? How did you spot real savings versus marketing hype? Email me at podcast@Triggator.com and share your story. Or you can message me on Facebook, Instagram, or X @Triggator. If this episode helped you, follow the show so that you never miss a chance to bust more financial myths and build smarter spending plans. Leave a review, especially if this episode helped you challenge old beliefs and make better choices. Share this episode with a friend who's ready to separate fact from fiction in their finances. And don't forget to follow @Triggator on social media for tips, encouragement, and behind-the-scenes content. The Triggator app is coming soon. It'll help you spot myths, track your spending, and make smarter choices. Want early access? Email podcast@Triggator.com to get on the beta release list today. Finally, visit Triggator.com and download the free Triggator ebook for more strategies to help you master your money. Next time, we'll help you discover your own personal why for financial wellness. In Your Financial Why, how to find it, plan it, and live it. We'll guide you through uncovering what motivates you, building a spending plan around your values, and staying true to your why, even when life gets messy. If you're ready to make your money work for what matters most, you won't want to miss it. Financial myths are everywhere, but you have the power to challenge them, rewrite your story, and build a spending plan that fits your life. Keep questioning, keep learning, and keep moving forward. Thanks for listening to Master Your Money, Budgeting, Saving, and Debt-Free Living. I'm your host, Nate Tanner. See you next time.